4853 race.
Robin Rimmel in the 22, defending champion, starts from the pole outside the 5 of Frank Turek, last week's feature winner. 64 Bill Henry, 13 Chris Vergona, 34 is Rich Nicola, the 66 of Max Schlesinger, and the 4 of Vince Cater. On Agway Energy Products Night. The Mount Pleasant Napa Auto Parts 22 of Robin Rimmel, your early leader, with the Mount Pleasant driver behind him, Frank Turek, and the West Side Lube and Tire number 5. Those two starting out in front will be tough to catch. Chris Vergona in the 13, third place and sideways. Now on a dirt track, it's where you want to go through the turns, but not here on the asphalt. Still Robin Rimmel in front, Turek second, Rich Nicola's up to third now, Chris Vergona fourth, and Max Schlesinger fifth. You can keep track of what lap it is and the top 5 cars in the running order on the NASCAR scoreboard between turns 1 and 2. Halfway, 4 laps down and 4 laps to go. Vince Cater in the 4 car dives to the inside of Max Schlesinger in the 66. Battle for 5th. Still the 22 of Robin Rimmel with the 5 of Frank Turek hot on his tail. 2 laps to the finish. Vince Cater is into the 5th spot in the 5 car. The 4 car, excuse me. 1 lap to go. Out of whites in the Mount Pleasant Napa, Arsenberger Trucking, Huffman's Auto Sales, Ford, Robin Rimmel takes the opening heat race of the night. Frank Turek second, Rich Nicola third, Chris Vergona gets 4th in the 13, and Vince Cater in the 4 will round out the top 5. Agway entered from Hopwood, 74 Jason Holder from Stoystown, the 45 is Don Blank Jr. from Pittsburgh, 44 is Sean Rick from Pittsburgh, the 10 of Mike Manning from Burgettstown, and the 7 is Garrett Hoos from Perryopolis. From the pole has the lead. It'll be tough to catch too. He has been lights out fast in the first 2 weeks. He won opening day, and last week came from 12th to 2nd. Bill Ashton in the 35 second. Jason Holder third in the 74, then the 45 of Don Blank Jr. and the 44 of Sean Rick. 10 on the outside, trying to move into the top 5. Halfway this time, 4 more laps to go in the second heat race for your Subway Street Stocks. Mike Manning into 10, trying to put a little pressure on the 74 of Jason Holder for 4th. The multi-fab number 10 moves to 4th. One lap to go. Checkered flag waving for Knights. Bill Ashton, the runner-up. Donnie Blank Jr. 3rd. Mike Manning 4th, and Jason Holder completes your top 5. Falcone Dodge late. Luck of the draw puts last week's feature winner on the pole, the Silver Bullet, Neil Brown in the 98. Outside is the 95 of Gary Wiltrout, 5, Sean Pilla, 32, Bob Sprout Kossel, 22, Richard Mitchell, 8, Mark Flick, 30, Ralph McBride, 60, Tommy Beck, and the 43 of Mike Adams. 10 laps for your Falcone Dodge late models. And the green is out. Got the lead, but look at Wiltrout take off on the outside. The Stone & Company Migan Ford 95 challenging the Coors Light 98. Mitchell to the inside of Sean Pilla, trying to move up to 3rd. Kossel had a handful into 32 getting into that first turn. He runs 5th. Down the back straightaway, the battle continues. Neil Brown and Gary Wiltrout. Mitchell 3rd and Sean Pilla 4th. It's still Neil Brown in front. Wiltrout settles in behind him in 2nd. Mitchell is 3rd. Pillow 4th and Kossel 5th. Battle for 6 now. Tommy Beck in the 60 to the low side of Mark Flick in the number 8. As we complete lap number 4, 6 to go. Beck and Flick. Wheel to wheel for the 6th spot. Top 6 finishers in each heat will redraw for the top 12 starting spots in tonight's feature event, the Agway 75. Wiltrout put a lot of pressure to Neil Brown on the outside those first couple of laps, and now he'll try the low side as they race off of Ford. Still Brown in front, Wiltrout 2nd. Gary, the defending track champion in the 95, and now Mitchell trying to carry him some momentum on the top side, the middle groove in the 22. Things are tightening up out in front. Mitchell goes to the middle of the racetrack, trying to carry the mail off that 4th turn. 3 to go. Sean Pilla Steele fourth, Sprout Castle fifth, and Tommy Beck runs sixth. 8 laps down and 2 to go. Will Trout now goes back to the middle groove, trying to get some momentum to get by Brown on the outside. Neal's been strong on the bottom side of the racetrack. May not be the fastest, but he's protecting that low side lane. 1 lap to go. Coming through 3 and 4, the Coors Light 98, the Migan Ford 95, and the Howard Concrete Pumping 22. It's going to be Brown your winner. Will Trout second and Mitchell third. Whoa! Mitchell runs into Will Trout after the checkered had waved. And on 45 is Rick Boyer from Blairsville, the one of Chuck Kessler from White. Green is out. The Rolling Rock 33 of John Komarinsky was Rolling Rock Happy Hour. The Rock Light 33 is out in front here in our second heat race for the Falcone Dodge late models. Trying to hold off Rick Miller. Miller now moving to second down the backstretch in the 25 car. Bakioki is third. Mark Poole is fourth and Chuck Kessler is fifth. Chuck had a solid second place finish here a week ago in the 1. On the halfway mark, it's Komarinsky in front, but closing in a hurry is Rick Miller in the Brooks Automotive 25, starting to hound the Rolling Rock 33 of Komarinsky off the fourth turn, and down the front straightaway they come. Miller takes the lead into 1 and 2. Bakioki is third. Mark Poole is fourth, and Chuck Kessler fifth. Mark Catone is your sixth place runner in the 31. Walking away from the field after taking the lead in car 25, the crate motored machine. It's a fuel injected engine. The others are all running carburetors. Different motor style are implementing into the division this year. One to go. Flag is out for Rick Miller. John Komarinsky second. Doug Bakioki third. Mark Poole fourth, and Chuck Kessler wins the race for fifth. Falcone Dodge on rails in the 49 is Jim Webb from Monongahela. 8 laps for the Sheets Modifieds. Sheets can Convenience stores are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's one near you with those delicious Krispy Kreme donuts. Jim Nicola, fresh off the feature win, has his nephew George P. behind him. It's the Nicolas, 1 and 2. Nephew Georgie's liable to get in trouble if he passes Uncle Jim. 32, Matt Panay running third. Phil Larson-East in the 8 car is fourth, and it's the 45 of Bernie McQuillan. Here comes Larson-East in the 8 to the low. Your leader spins. Jim Nicola spins with the lead off this, moving up from the street stocks, and it also did some pro truck racing. Larson-East in the 8 moves to second. The Georgia Pacific Teen Safety number 8 into the runner-up slot. Bacalon in the 48 is up to 4th. Bernie McQuillan 5th. Jim Nicola moves to 6th in the number 5. Larson-East dives to the low side off of 4, challenging for the lead. Halfway, 4 laps to go. Still Nicola. Trying to keep Phil Larson-East at bay. Panay third with Bacalon moving to his outside as they enter turn 3. Larson-East went in high, diamonds it off, and now trying to dive under Nicola, but Nicola is stout down the chutes in the 97. The Inland Automotive JP Smoke Shop 97 still shows the way. 2 laps to go. Bacalon on the outside trying to pass Matt Panay for third. They're wheel-to-wheel down the backstretch. McQuillan is still 5th. Nicola, who had the lead early, is 6th. One more time around. First year in the modifieds, George P. Nicola gets the win. Phil Larson-East second, Mike Bacalon third, Matt Panay 4th, and Bernie McQuillan. Sheets Modifieds are back in business. The 60 of Bobby Benz grabs the lead from the pole. 22, Brian Pickering second. 16, Gary Scott moves to third. It's the 77 of Brian Stevenson being passed by the 37 of Paul Urso. Urso to 4th now. Bob Benz Jr. still the leader. Pickering second in the point standings, running strong here in the early part of the season in car 22, and so is the 16 of Gary Scott. Opening day winner Paul Urso to 37 is 4th, and the 63 of Ken Sapik still 5th. the halfway mark, coming around a complete lap 6, just over 2 laps remaining. Transmissions, Froggy 98, 60 of Bob Bench Jr. has been your leader from the get-go. Gary Scott continues to pester Brian Pickering for second. Just 1 lap remaining. And Sapping trying to join the mix too as the checkered flag waves for Bobby Benz. Brian Pickering second, Gary Scott third, Paul Urso fourth, and Ken Sapping rounds out your top 5. If you didn't get your 50-50 tickets for the Smith and Fire Department, they're on sale. Be sure to flag 2 Dan Lewis, 19 Joe Furjanic, 14 Paul Milowicki, and the 4th Dustin Blank. Looks like 2 heats tonight for the Falcone Chrysler Jeep Pro Trucks. The biggest field of trucks we've had in a long time. The class is starting to grow. The water and fertilizer combination starting to click. Kostelnik, your leader, with Eugene Ciferno second. Kostelnik, Stance Transmissions, Froggy 98. AD Auto Wrecking, Chevy in front. Eugene Ciferno, the Brooks Automotive 16, challenging for the lead. Eugene hard into that 3rd turn. Dave Manns in the 51 is 3rd. The 02 of newcomer Dan Lewis starting to get the hang of that 02 as he moves into the 3rd spot. He's only been behind the wheel for 3 short weeks. Kostelnik seems like he runs out of speed down the straightaways, but he goes like crazy through the turns, so he may not be hitting on all 8 cylinders in the number 60. Yeah, he's a little flat down the chutes, leaving that inside lane open. Still would appear that way. Ciferno, you can see him pick it up down the straightaways and go into the lead. But look at Adam roll through the turns. He's got his foot to the floor the whole way around the racetrack. Dustin Blank popping some popcorn in the 4. Dan Lewis closing in on the leaders in the 02 with 2 laps to go. Time around. Dan Lewis in the 02, getting close to the 60, almost spun out. The Brooks GMC Trucks Newsstand Auto Body 16 of Eugene Ciferno picking up the heat race win. Kostelnik second, Lewis third, Joe Furjanic fourth, and the Hunker Hornet Paul Milowicki complete your top 5. Green is out. Dave Barrow, fresh off a feature win a week ago, is your early leader. Greg Kelly second. Robbie Young out for the first time this season in the familiar Irwin RV3, right now trying to hold on to 3rd as Marion Reno Jr. works to the low side of Young and moves to 3rd in the El Germac Heating and Cooling number 8. outside of Greg Kelly, trying to move to second as Dave Merrill continues to set the pace. 3 laps to go. It's still the race for second between Greg Kelly and Marion Reno Jr. Reno now edging ahead of Kelly. He'll make the pass for second down the back chute. One lap remaining. The car's by Dave. 69 of Dave Merrill will pick up the win. Marion Reno Jr. second, Greg Kelly third, Robbie Young fourth, and Chris Kossel fifth. Going faster from Smithton into number 3. Rick Broadwater unable to answer the bell in the number 9. Key broke off in the ignition. Bob Shipp in the 04 with Chantel Germack. Trying to get one for the ladies. Running a close second. Dave McManus in the 17 and Jim Stokes in the 95 are next. Still Bob Shipp, Chantel Germack second. Mike Lemley is up to third. He's what you call a charger. Always going toward the front. Chuck Slade is fourth and Dave McManus fifth. Checkered flag for Bob Shipp. Chantel Germack second. Todd Knight from the pole, your Subway Street Stock Challenge contestant, grabs the early lead. Oh, Don Blank in the 45 has got a problem. He's going to the outside. Ooh, Robin Rimmel just missed him. Blank still limping across the racetrack now, trying to get her to the pits. One lap in the books. Don Blank in the pits. Looks like the front tire's flat, maybe on the right side of that race car. 70 Todd Knight. Chris Fergona, the second-year driver in the 13, running second. Jason Holder in the 74 is third. Vince Cater in the 4 is fourth. 66 Max Schlesinger is fifth. Manning in the 10 car, moving into the top 5. '34, Rich Nicola is 6th. Todd Knight racing for meatballs tonight. Caution, Max Schlesinger in the 66, slapping the wall, a pretty good lick. Continues to lead as we're back to racing in your Subway Street Stock feature event. Chris Vergana is really flying tonight in that 13 car. Vince Catridge trying to pass Jason Holder for 3rd. Vergana just a 2nd-year driver in the 13. The Empire Glass, Lisa Avon's Beauty Supply, 13, and Vince Cater in the 4th. They had a real scramble there. 3 wide for about 4th and 5th. Watch this battle into turn 3. If they make it, it's a miracle. Almost. They tried to wreck it, it just didn't happen. Rich Nicola put that big Ford in the middle of it all, and now he's up into 4th in the number 34. Nicola is on the move in the 34, now trying to pass the 4 of Vince Cater for 3rd. Bill Ashton up into the top 5 in car 35. Last week's winner, Frank Turek, trying to claw his way up into contention along with the 22 of Robin Rimmel. Nicola up to 3rd. Todd Knight with a healthy lead, 11 laps to go to get you all a 6-inch meatball sub. I don't know if we get a caution. Rich Nicola may be as fast as Knight. He's quickly moving to 2nd as he dives into the inside of turn 3, passing the 13 of Chris Vergana. Manning is 4th, Robin Rimmel is up to 5th now, and Frank Turek is 6th after starting 12th. In the 5 car, trying to pass Robin Rimmel for 5th. The 5 and the 22, wheel to wheel in turn 3. Straightaway lead for Todd Knight. I'll tell you, the race for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th is dynamite. Chris Vergana in the 13. That looks like the handling's going away a bit on his car. He's trying to hold them off, but Mike Manning will pass him for 3rd in the number 10, and here comes Turek in the 5 to 4th. Robin Rimmel, the 22, trying to pass Vergana for 5th. 6 laps from Pater. To go. Nicola's making making up some ground, but without the help of a caution, he's not going to have enough time to close in on Todd Knight. Todd has just been stout all season. The Stands Transmissions, Carl Lloyd Tire, TJK Enterprises, Chevy, out of Monroeville, trying to pick up 2 wins in 3 weeks of racing. Rich Nicola still second. Torek now to third in the 5. Robin Rimmel in the 22 and Mike Manning in the 10. Battle for 4th and 5th, with Rimmel making the pass down the back chute. Those two have come from back and deep in the field. Robin Rimmel is now 4th. For the Subway Street Stocks. Are you getting hungry? One lap to go for Todd Knight. Rich Nicola having a heck of a run in the 34 is second. Torek third, Rimmel fourth, Manning fifth. Ashton, Vergana, Cater, Blank are next. Then it's Sean Rick and Jason Holder. He started on the pole, and he'll go wire to wire on Agway Energy Products night to win you all a 6-inch meatball sub. Todd Knight, your Subway Street Stock Challenge winner. Rich Nicola second. Frank Torek third, Robin Rimmel fourth, and Mike Manning is fifth. Wreck on the final lap. The 4, Vince Cater, and the 45 of Don Blank Jr. parked up in turn 4. All right, the way this works, the Street Stock Challenge. Last year was Fast Frank Torek was the meatball man. It looks like it may be Todd Knight's turn this year. How about a nice hand, folks? He just won you all a 6-inch meatball sub. Todd Knight.
Well, Todd, you're the most popular guy in the building right now, winning everybody the meatball subs.
Oh, that's good, because hopefully I get one of them too.
Hey, you know, Dial just said over a PA speaker that last year Frank Torek kept winning everybody the meatball subs every night. It seems he won, that he was the meatball guy. But he says maybe you'll do that this year. I have a feeling you're going to be starting 12th this year, an awful lot. 2 wins in a second so far. Unbelievable start to the year.
I'm glad it started out this good. We spent a lot of time this winter trying to figure out how to set the car up, and it's just handled real good.
You know, you talk about the time and stuff that you spent. Try to, if you can, try to put it into words for the fans, like what you can do to this car over the winter that you find out. Like what do you work on as far as setting it up to get it to go through the corners faster?
Reading a lot of books.
Study, huh? A lot of study.
A lot of study.
Todd, let's talk about the sponsors and the guys that help you out.
First, I want to thank my wife for helping, Bob Benz for helping me on the car, setting it up also. Bob Wilhide come tonight. My dad and my brother couldn't come. I want to thank them, for all their support too. Sponsors, I want to thank Stands Transmission, Bobby's Lounge, Pete's Monroeville Beverage, Racing Fan, Bishop Asphalt, Gateway Banquet Hall, and I want to thank the fans for coming out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 wins on the young year so far for Todd Knight.
That is Todd's 13th career street stock win. That leaves him 1 behind Bloom, Beam, and Corden on the all-time win list. Get your 50-50 tickets out. The 22A scratch. Hunt from Agway Energy Products, our honorary starter. Harvey, you've got the green flag in your hand, buddy. They're all yours. It takes total concentration. Off the 4th turn they come, the Davies Ford Mustang. The Agway Energy Products 75 races down the front, shooting into turn number 1. Sean Pill in the 5 grabs the early lead. That's Beck in the 60. Komarinsky in the 33. Wiltrout is up to 5th in the 95. Miller on the outside of Komarinsky. The battle down the front straightaway. It's Pill is still your leader. 1 lap in. Certainly 2 grooves out there tonight. Oh, Doug Bakioki in the 50. Almost lost the handle off the second turn. Had him scattering behind him. Phil leads side by side for second. Komarinsky and Beck. Then it's Wiltrout and Miller. Gary Wiltrout in the Megan Ford Stone & Company 95 is flying. Komarinsky moves up, and here comes Wiltrout in the 95, challenging Beck now for third. Meantime, it's Sean Pillen, the Carrier Products 5-year leader. The Rolling Rock Light 33 of John Komarinsky second. The Megan Ford Stone & Company 95 of Wiltrout. The Stans Transmissions Froggy 9860 of Beck. And the Brooks Automotive 25 of Miller. And Miller really using them brakes when he gets to the end of the straightaway in that 25 car. You see the sparks are flying. John Komarinsky trying to pressure Sean Pillow for the lead. Off of 1 and 2, Komarinsky ducks to the inside of Pilla down the backstretch into 3. They're side by side for the lead. Look at Wiltrout. Poke the nose of the 95 down there as well. Wiltrout will move to second. Miller up to third. Tommy Beck to the inside of Sean Pilla trying to get back into fourth in the number 60. Mark Poole is running 6th, and it's Catone and Bakioki side by side for 7th. Catone will make that pass off of 4. Gary Wiltrout and Rick Miller came from back in the middle of the field to finish both in the top 5 last week, and both look to have pretty quick horses, and it looks the same tonight as they put the pressure on the Rolling Rock 33 of John Komarinsky. Mark Catone now in the Edie's Ice Cream Napa Auto Parts 31, about to move to 6th. As he dives underneath the 96 of Mark Poole. Catone was the opening day winner. Off a 2 down the back straightaway. Mark Catone trying to rally the 31 up into the top 5. He'll make that pass into turn 3. Komarinsky still leads. Wiltrout is second, Miller is third, and Beck is fourth. Catone 5th, Pilla 6th, Poole 7th, Kessler a close 8th, Bakioki 9th, and Kossel was 10th. Neil Brown, who started 12th, still running 11th in the 98. Chucky Kessler making a pass in car number 1. Are tightening up out in front as Wiltrout starts to pester the 33 of Komarinsky as they head down the front stretch into 1. Wiltrout now trying to pull alongside of Komarinsky off at 2 down the back straightaway. Stone & Company Megan Ford 95 trying to take the lead from the Rolling Rock 33. They are wheel to wheel, toe to toe. Wiltrout will lead lap 13. And Miller quickly moves to second in the Brooks Automotive 25. Now it's Beck in the 60 car to the low side of Komarinsky trying to move into third. The Stans Transmissions, Froggy 9860. Larry Lynn Carpeting also on board, of course. Tommy Beck in the Larry Lynn number 60 moves to third, and we got a spin over in turn 2. Caution is out for the 50 of Doug Bakioki. Hits. Racing, Gary Wiltrot leads them off at 2 down the back straightaway. That thing is taken off the corners. Miller tries to run him down into 3. Beck is 3rd, Komarinsky 4th, and Catone 5th. Catone now pressuring Komarinsky for 4th. Chuck Kessler is a close 6th in the 1 car. Gary Wiltrot still your leader with Rick Miller pressuring him, and Tommy Beck having his best run of the young season in the Larry Lind Flooring and Carpeting number 60. He started up front, went back a ways, and now has worked his way back to 3rd as Miller challenges Wiltrot for the lead. Close racing into 1 and 2 between the 25 and the 95 down the back straightaway. Miller by a car length will take the lead into turn 3. Wiltrot trying to protect that low side. Beck was there. A little contact between those two in the middle of 3 and 4. Rick Miller in the Brooks Automotive Grand Prix out in front. Not wasting any time and pulling away. Wiltrot still 2nd, Beck 3rd, and Catone 4th. Caution is back out. The 8 of Mark Flick up in turn 4. Trying to get the 2 motors as equal as possible. We're back racing. The green is out. 18 laps in. Brown passing Sprout Cossel in car 32 to pick up a spot. The Falcone Dodge late models. Miller had the lead here opening Sunday. Had power steering problems late in the race. Had to go into the pits. Gave the lead to Mark Catone, and Catone went on to get the win that day. Wiltrot 2nd, Beck 3rd, and Catone 4th, Komarinsky 5th, Kessler 6th, Pillis 7th. Neil Brown trying to pass Mark Poole for 8th. Doug Bakioki runs 10th in car 50. Pester Mark Poole trying to move up to 8th. Tommy Beck's been on the heels of Gary Wiltrot, but has not been able to get by the 95. It looked early in the race like Wiltrot might have had the best car here, but it's like he's not as quick through the turns as he was early on. Beck and Catone are all over him, but have been unable to shake him out of that bottom groove. pressuring Wiltrout. May give him a little bump there into turn 4, but it's still Gary second, Tommy third, and Marketone fourth. All a half a straightaway behind the 25 of Rick Miller. Komarinsky is fifth, Kessler sixth, Brown is up to seventh now. Bakioki eighth, Mark Poole ninth, and Sean Pillar runs 10th in car 5. Bakioki on the outside trying to get by Neil Brown for seventh. That has been the best race for the last several laps between Brown, Bakioki, and Mark Poole. Doug Bakioki using the middle groove. Nobody else going up there right now. Everyone's staying pretty much around the bottom side of the racetrack, with the 50 car working in the middle part of the racetrack. Rick Miller starting to lap the field as he heads down the back straightaways, put a couple of cars a lap down. We're past the halfway mark. Grown to a straightaway now. Up a little bit of an advantage on the third place car of Tommy Beck. Wiltrout around the 51 of John Messenger. Nick Durant's pitting in car number 80. Racetrack for Rick Miller, one lap car between himself and Gary Wiltrout, and the lead is a straightaway. In the Agway Energy Products 75, we've got 30 laps to go. Really starting to apply the pressure to Tommy Beck for third. Komarinsky is still fifth, and a spin. The 30 of Ralph McBride spins around in turns 1 and 2, and the caution is out. 40. Green is waving another time. go. Pull in the 96, spinning around in turn 2. Caution is back out. Green is out. Laps from the cash. Rick Miller eyeing up those dollars right now. He's got the lead. He's been the strongest. Extends that lead quick like. Will Trout second. Tommy Beck, who had been pressuring Gary pretty hard through the middle part of the race, has dropped back a bit now in third. Katsonis fourth and Komarinsky fifth. Kessler sixth, Bakioki seventh, Brown is eighth, Pilla ninth, and Rick Boyer runs 10th in the 45. Brown and Doug Bakioki are going at it again. They raced a bunch of laps in this one side by side, the 98 and the 50. To go. Rick Miller continues to dominate. Bakioki and Kessler with contact. Whoa, and they crash on the back straightaway. Caution is out. That all started over in turn 2. Wasting any time to extend that lead. As soon as the green goes, he is gone. Runs it out to a healthy lead and then seems to cruise for a bit. Tommy Beck trying to turn up the pressure on Will Trout again for second. Neil Brown, after the Bakayuki Kessler incident, finds himself now up into the 6th hole. Zach Kessler with more problems than the Kessler lovers since our incorporated one. Maybe headed to the pits. Now it looks like he's just going to stop right in the middle of the racetrack. Caution is out. Now he dives across the racetrack. With 11 laps to go. Green is out. Laps to go. Neil Brown trying to move into the top 5. John Komarinsky, the hood coming up on the 33. Is buckled on the 33 of John Komarinsky. Is probably no doubt affecting the handling of that race car. The Rolling Rock 33, the hood buckled, you can see is probably catching a lot more wind than it normally would. Neil Brown has now come from 12th to 5th, possibly a candidate for the Valvoline Hard Charger Award. Got a flat right front tire, Mark Flick. Something amiss on the right front. Maybe the tire's not flat, but the shock's broke or something's amiss on that front end of the number 8, and Mark looks like he will bring her to the pits. We've got 5 laps to go. Mark Cachone challenging Tommy Beck for 3rd. Laps to go. Not much of a battle out in front. The second 5 are a little more crowded here as we come into the late stages. The final lap. Miller, the Brooks Automotive Group, Valvoline 25. Will bring the crate motor to victory lane for the first time in the Agway Energy Products 75. His first win at the Drome since 1994. Gary Wiltrout 2nd, Tommy Beck 3rd, Mark Cachone 4th, Neil Brown 5th, Bakayuki, Komarinsky, Pilla, Boyer, and Poole are next. Congratulations, Rich Nicola. He was the hard charger, the Valvoline hard charger in the street stock feature. raise hand, folks. Rick Miller, your Agway Energy Products 75 winner.
Rick, I'm sitting here scratching my head trying to think, how long has it been since you've been to Victory Lane here at Motordrome?
I think 1994.
I know it's been a while. I tell you what, the car looked like it was on a rail tonight. Yeah, I know your brother helped do the setup quite a bit, and that thing was so smooth.
Yeah, actually, my brother David does all the setups. He built the car, and the car owners, Tom Partash and David, Jonah, and Mark Humphreys, the girls, everybody. It was just a super team effort.
You know, on the restarts there, you just were so strong. That car's just flying out there tonight.
Yeah, I was watching the guys behind me. They were trying to get a run on me on the restarts, and I kind of wait till they caught up to my back bumper, and then as soon as they left off the gas, then my spotter would tell me go, and away I'd drive.
You know, you look at it, opening day, you had some terrible luck. The power steering cap, of all things, falls off the car. Probably cost you a win then, too.
Yeah, well, we're running one of the new spec motors, so, you know, you're going to have some teething problems with those things till you get the bugs worked out of them. You know, that's part of racing, so we'll just take the good with the bad.
Let's talk about the sponsors and the guys that help you out.
Yeah, that's Brooks Oldsmobile, Cadillac, GMC, Valvoline, Judy and Steffi Fouts, Precision Chassis, and Left-Hander Chassis. And the crew is my brother Dave and Jonah, my boy Richie, Mark Humphreys, and Tom Partash, and all the girls, Cindy, Beth, and all the rest of them.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you, and I'd like to wish everybody glad you could come out tonight to the racetrack, and you need to tell your buddies about it to bring them out. Yeah, we're putting on some good racing out here. We need to get some more people in them stands.
Ladies and gentlemen, first win in 9 years for Rick Miller.
He'll pick up the Agway Energy Products trophy. Folks, we had some door prizes not claimed, so if on your way, you might want to take your souvenir program down to the souvenir stand and check and see if one of your number might have been one that was called. Also, they've got some neat stuff down there. Check out the Motordrome racewear and apparel down at the 16 Gary Scott, then the 60 of Bobby Benson, the 48 of Mike Bacalon, 22 Brian Pickering, 63 Ken Sappick. George Pinacola in the 97. 5 Jim Nicola will start 12. 31 Matt Smith. Green is out. Sinise out to the early lead. Bernie Mac. Bernie McQuillan is second. Gary Scott motoring up into the second spot. He led for 19 plus laps a week ago in the Swissville Music 16. The Century Steel Erectors, Mama Pepino's Pizza. 8 of Phil Arsenis III, your leader. Bernie McQuillan still third. That's 48 Mike Bacalon and 37 of Paul Urso. Bacalon in the 48s. Makes the pass for third. Urso trying to follow him to fourth into 37. Bench Jr. into the top 5 at car 60. Scott whittling into that lead. Spin. 2 red cars. George Pinicola, the 97, the 22 of Brian Pickering. Green is out. Scott trying to challenge Phil Arsenis, the third. Mike Bacalon in third. Bobby Bentz in the low side of Paul Urso in the race for fourth and fifth. Up in 3 and 4, and it's the 97 of Georgie Nicola getting the laps to go. Larson, he started up front. He's still your leader. Gary Scott second and Mike Bacalon third. Bobby Bentz fourth and Paul Urso fifth. At the halfway mark, trying to pass Gary Scott for a second. They're side by side into 3. Off of 4. Bacalon edging ahead in that battle for the second spot. Larson Ace continues to lead. Into second by a couple of car lengths now. Scott third, Bentz fourth, Urso fifth. Does anyone have anything for the end of Phil Arsenis? Just 6 laps to go. Laps, or 16 down, 4 laps to go. traffic ahead, some heavy traffic ahead for Phil Larsenese. Things could get interesting. Chris Dodd in the 47 and Jim Webb in the 49 moved to the inside of the racetrack. Al Civic still ahead of the leader with 2 laps to go. Larsenese to the outside trying to put Civic a lap down. Slow down a little bit. Close it in, but just a lap to go. Jim Nicola with a late charge on in the 5 car, breaks into the top 5. He started 12th. He'll be possibly your Valvoline hard charger. Checkered flag is waving for Phil Larsenese III. Mike Backel on 2nd. Gary Scott 3rd. Bob Benz 4th and Jim Nicola 5th. Three weeks of racing, 3 different winners in the Sheets Moto. Have a nice hand, folks. He's out of his car. Phil Larsenese III, your Sheets Modified winner on Agway Energy Products Night. My head.
Hey, fans, we're down here with Phil Larsenese. Phil took off like a rabbit at the front of that field, and you stayed that way the whole race.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a benefit when you get to start up front. This year we have definitely a hot shoe field this year, and it's going to be a lot tougher to make wins. And when you get a chance to start on the front, you got to take advantage of it.
The only problem with that is you have to start 12th next week. You'll be hitting things in the car and everything else because it's awful tough to come up through that field.
Oh, it definitely is. I had to start 11th 2 weeks in a row, and I got jammed up the first week out and got the front end knocked off the car, and then the second week out we made it up to 6th. But it's definitely tough making it through the field this year.
You know, the modified field at one time was left for dead here. I mean, it was really thought, well, they won't bring it back next year. It's kind of risen to life. We're seeing that even with our trucks a little bit. And like you said, the competition, it's 3 races, 3 different winners.
Yeah, there's an excellent crew of rookies this year. I know the Nicola boy in the 97, I had to run, I couldn't pass him. I couldn't get by him in the heat race. I mean, I gave him everything I had. He's running fast. I mean, there's a lot of good cars this year. You got to get by.
Okay, Phil, let's talk about the sponsors and the guys that help you out.
Well, first off, I want to talk about the Teen Safety 500. Georgia Pacific sponsored us this year. It's a program we've been going around to local schools, and we've been trying to teach teenagers that it's driving habits, so we don't have any more tragedies like we've been having lately. Also, I'd like to thank Mama Pepino's Pizza, Century Steel Erectors, Stan Transmissions, Main Auto Parts, Phil's Auto and Tire, my father's business. And I got to thank his crew back here. My dad works endless hours on the race car. Motors by Evanuik and Kenny Masco working on those too. You know, we have a hell of a crew out here that busts their butt all week long while I work as a cop. So I don't get much time in the garage. I get to come out on Fridays, have fun. I'd like to thank the fans. Come on next week. We'll try to take it from 12th.
Ladies and gentlemen, winner tonight, Phil Larsenese.
And it is official. Jim Nicola is your Valvoline Oil hard charger in the number 5. Next week, Phil will have a good shot at that as he'll be starting 12th. Again, in the parking lot, main parking lot, if you haven't already, Pennsylvania license D. Off the 4th turn they come. The Davies Ford Mustang goes to the pits. And the Falcone Chrysler Jeep Pro Trucks roar into turn 1 on Agway Energy Products Night. I think Dustin Blank still got the popcorn cooking in the Ford truck. The Irwin RV3 of Robbie Young takes the lead from the pole. Eugene Ciferto in the 16 and the 02 of Dan Lewis battle for 2nd. Now Lewis has never been in a truck until opening day here, so he's picked it up mighty quick like. Dave Merrow started way back in about 10th, is all the way up to Fifth on the outside of the 69. That outside lane is there. Whoa, Saferno in the 16 sideways, but that ride and drive experience able to help him save it. Young, your leader, then Dan Lewis. Dave Merrow's up to third. Saferno is fourth. Kostelnik is next. The trucks are pretty racy here tonight, aren't they? Back straightaway, Adam Kostelnik is off the pace for a minute in the 60, and they're sure scattered to miss him. Kostelnik's got us something amiss on the Stan's Transmission 60. Dustin Blank takes his 4 truck to the pits. Kostelnik looks like he will follow him there. Robbie Young out for the first time this season in the Irwin RB3, not doing too shabby a job. He's got a nice lead here. Dan Lewis still second. Dave Merrow's the man on the move. Green is out. Still Robbie Young, Dan Lewis, Dave Merrow, Greg Kelly, and Chris Kossel and Marion Reno are next in the 32 and the 8. Merrow to the inside of Lewis into turn 3. Battle for second. Dave Merrow trying to make it 2 wins in a row, moves up to second. Marion Reno now in the 8 truck breaks into the top 5. Spin, Chris Kossel in the 32. Out. Crowded out in front, Robbie Young, Dave Merrow, Marion Reno on the inside, and Dan Lewis on the outside. 5th is the 36 of Greg Kelly. Robbie Young protecting that inside. To the outside, Marion Reno trying to come underneath him down the back chute. Dan Lewis is 4th and Greg Kelly 5th. Eugene Saferno is back up to 6th. Last week it was Dave Merrow and Marion Reno battling for the win. This week they've got the 3 of Robbie Young ahead of them. Reno was a weebling and a wobbling going into that first turn of the number 8. This may be the best race of the night. Still Robbie Young protecting that inside. 6 laps from the finish. Dave Merrow's got the momentum on the outside, trying to pull even. Merrow cracks the whip until noses ahead down the back chute in the 69. Side by side, it's Robbie Young still in front. Dave Merrow and Marion Reno Jr. Dan Lewis a close 4th with less than 5 laps to go. Awful 4 this time, it may be Merrow in front, and it is. Reno will go up top trying to get around the outside of Robbie Young, but Young meantime pulls to the inside of Merrow for the lead. Still Dave Merrow, Robbie Young nipping at the inside, and Reno goes outside with 3 to go. Dan Lewis trying to make it a 4-truck race. Robbie Young getting fast on the bottom that last lap. Robbie Young trying to take the lead back from Dave Merrow. He will lead lap 18, 2 to go. And there comes Marion Reno. For a minute there, thought he was going to try to make it 3 wide. Just wasn't enough room down on the apron off the second turn. One more time around. Dave Merrow led that lap. This is the one that counts. Merrow by a half a truck length down the back straightaway, trying to stretch it to a full truck length. Into 3 and 4, Merrow, Young, here they come, wheel to wheel with Reno right behind him off the 4th turn. Dave Merrow win 2 in a row. Wow. Robbie Young and Marion Reno Jr. right there, the best race of the night. That was worth the price of admission. 0-2. Dan Lewis 4th and Greg Kelly to 36 5th. That was fun to watch. Merrow 2 for 2. He gets the pop and he gets the check. Dave's never going to take that. Joe, Dave's never going to take that primer off. We're going to see primer all year. How about it, folks? What a job, Dave Merrow.
Tell you what, Dave, I haven't seen anybody use that outside line down here like that since Charlie Cragen days. You really seem to come off of that outside.
Well, you know what? I've been running the outside ever since I started racing. There ain't no one-groove racetrack here at MOTORDROME. It's definitely a two-groove.
You know, Dow was saying you're probably not going to paint this thing the good luck you're having with it being gray.
You know what? Gray's working for us this week. We had a lot of work to do this week on the truck still. It paid off, you can tell. Boy, we had a fast truck. It handled real well. I credit that to Mike Backlon. He helped me out a lot. Evanuic Engines, Cars by Dave, my dad, Christina and Greg, my fiance Christy, everybody that helps out.
I tell you one thing, Dave, too. You know, at least there's 12, 13 trucks showing up now, so it's not like, you know, you're starting 5th or 6th or whatever. You know, we've got enough trucks here to make an interesting race, which it very was.
Yeah, it was an interesting race, and I'll tell you what, there is 5 fast trucks up here, 6, maybe even 8. You know, there's a lot of fast trucks here. The 3 come out of the box this week. He was fast. The 8s come out fast. I mean, everybody was fast. It just was a battle to the front, whoever crossed the checkered line first. I want to thank the fans for coming out tonight. Looks like we're getting a few more. Thank everybody. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, second win in a row for Dave Merrow.
Jeff Giles has pitted in the 50. Castor darts into the lead in the number 3. Chantel Germack is second, Jimmy Stokes third. Bruce Hamilton in the 29 and the 7 of Chuck Slate. Dave McManus in the 17. 04 is Bob Ship. Castor from just over the hill in Smithton is your leader. Chantel Germack second, Jimmy Stokes third, Dave McManus fourth, and Bob Ship in the 04 is fifth. Chuck Slate making tracks on the outside of the number 7. Laps are down, 10 to go. Chuck Slate trying to move by Chantel Germack for second. Mike Lemley, who's going for the trifecta, is now up to 5th. Side by side for the lead, Castor in the 3 and Slate in the 7. It's Slate on the outside, edging ahead. Chuck Slate. The Stands Transmissions Rhino Express 7. Using that same line that Dave Barrow used, right in the middle of the racetrack. Halfway. Mike Lemley has moved into 4th now in the 4 car. To go. Lemley has caught up with the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Castor in the 3 still 2nd. Chantel Germack in the 24th, 3rd. Oh, she bounces off the wall, crosses. Hold on, Chantel. She turns around under the Motordrome USA sign, but she's still got the wheels a spinning. The caution is out. Best. Green is out. Chuck Slate, John Castor, Mike Lemley, Bob Shipp, and Dave McManus. Two more laps to go. White flag this time. Checkered flag, looking for his first win of the season. Chuck Slate, Mike Lemley comes from the back to second. His two-race winning streak comes up one car short of being three. John Castor third, Bob Shipp fourth, and Dave McManus fifth. In the Motordrome Chargers on Agway Energy Products Night. Mike Lemley is the hard charger again. Go ahead, Joe.
You know, Dal, I had to teach Chuck a few things here on opening day and the day after that. He started on the pole and walked over there and he told me he screwed up, and I told him the first thing you do as a driver is never admit you're wrong. It was Ron Brutt's fault or Denny Carson's fault. Now, see, you didn't start on a pole today. It had nothing to do with the crew. It was all driver this time, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
We're going to work on his interview skills, too, now. You got to talk a little bit more than yeah, okay? Help me out here. I'm willing to work with you, but you got to give me a little bit.
Yeah, the car was handled good and everything. Drove a pretty good race, I guess.
All right, that's 5. Now, let's talk about when the yellow come out, 3 laps to go. We've already, you know, sometimes them restarts there get a little tough. What was running through your mind then?
Well, I just hoped I was getting a little bit loose and hoped the car tightened up, which it did.
Which it did, but in the second thought in your mind was if Denny or Ron screw you up again, you're going to be mad, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the sponsors and the guys that help you out.
Stan's Transmission, Dave Schlesinger, Jay Pulley, I don't know who else. Chairband Tire, Adam Kostelnik, his brother, everybody down at garage at Brino Racing.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man of few words, Chuck Slade.
Six of William Bone. The green is out. Oh, Gene Greco's got himself some competition. The 24 Mike Oleksic has the lead. Greco right behind him. Whoa! We'll have our first American Flyer wreck here pretty soon. Gene Greco is in front now. Mike Oleksic drops to second. William Bone trailing the field.
Halfway.
2 more laps to go. Still Gene Greco. Michael Lexick, though, making a charge here with 1 to go. The 24 has a little harder time turning through the corners. Here they come, and Michael Lexick trying to pass Gene Greco for the lead off the 4th turn. The drag race is on. Down the front straightaway they come. It's going to be Gene Greco remaining unbeaten. Gene could be the first driver in the history of Motordrome Speedway to go all year without losing a race. That's it all.
You will take care of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, folks, we thank you for coming.